To continue our media availabilities for this afternoon with our winner, Martin Truex Jr. If you have a question, please raise your hand and we will get a mic over to you as soon as possible. We'll start in the back with Zach, and then we will go to Lee.
Zach Sterniola, NASCAR.com. Martin, congratulations on this. We've talked kind of at length about the struggles that Toyota had on the road courses last year.
Yeah.
What did you feel that was that allowed you to excel today, and the really the whole of Joe Gibbs Racing?
You know, just everything it took to be successful here. I mean, honestly, it's you know, we had some issues last year that we'd show up at road courses and we would kind of outsmart ourselves or try to like reinvent the wheel, come up with some super crazy trick setup because we knew our cars were not as good as the other manufacturers, you know. So we shot ourselves in the foot a few times, and here was one of them for sure. Like, we came here and completely disregarded everything we know about this track, thinking it was a new car and it's going to be different, and we ran terrible, and it was like, okay, that was dumb, we're idiots. And but no, I mean, I think honestly just a lot of hard work in the off season. You know, NASCAR obviously let everybody do some redesigning on the front end with the louvers and the nose and all that stuff, and I think we were able to get our cars to where the other guys were, and closer to, you know, I guess maybe the Chevrolets that were super fast on the road courses last year. So that was a part of it. And then just, you know, James and my engineers and our team, you know, working hard to figure out a good setup that I would like, and something that would work for me here. That was like what we used to run in the past. So there's a lot to it. It's really hard to even, you know, explain it. Tons of hard work in the off season from every angle, on road courses, on short tracks, and really on everything, but short tracks and road courses for sure were a big focus, as a group with Toyota and with JGR.
We'll go to Lee and then to Jeff.
Can't hear you.
Lee Spencer, catchfence.com. Sorry for the
It's all right.
delay. Martin, once you were out front, you really could check out, and Kyle said he gave it everything he had in those final 3 laps, but would you rather have Kyle as your teammate racing against him, or rather have him in a different organization racing against him, or does it matter?
I don't think it matters. You know, I think Kyle and I have raced together long enough and have enough respect for one another to race hard but race clean. I think we understand each other, know our limits, and, you know, honestly, I think in the last, I don't know, 17, 18 years, we've had maybe 2 run-ins where it was like, oh, that was stupid, I was an idiot. You know what I mean? I think one for each of us, literally. And we've had some great races. We finished 1-2 a lot of times. We've battled for the lead, for wins a bunch. And, you know, he's great to race with. I'd race with him any day of the week for a win, and feel like we could do it fair, we could do it hard and respectfully. So I was totally fine with him being at the front with me, and you know, obviously I'm lucky. I'm happy he didn't get close, but you know, because he would have been getting after it like he always does. But no concerns at all to race against Kyle.
And how valuable was clean air? Because it seemed like the guy out front, it was, you know, unless you had fresh tires behind, you were pretty well set.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we came from 10th there halfway through the race there, or end of stage 2 when that caution fell, and we got, you know, some guys had just pitted not long before that. So we had to restart 10th, and it's tough to pass here. It always has been. There's only, you know, 2 really good passing zones, and even those are difficult sometimes to get it set up right with a guy, even if he has a little bit older tires. So you just kind of just try to pressure a guy and make him slip somewhere and find an opening. But it's definitely hard to pass, and, you know, clean air is obviously a big deal. I don't think it was as bad as last year by any means, with, you know, the package we have now, the short track package. I think it was a little bit better than last year for sure. I mean, I could run close to guys. You just lose a little bit of grip, and, you know, at a track where you're just sliding all the time and you don't have much grip to begin with, it makes it tough. But I think for us being the leader, being able to drive away, just our car was that good. You know, I could manage tires easier and not have to run as hard to lead. And that's always, it always kind of makes the lead get bigger and look easier than it is.
Go to Jeff and then to Bob.
Martin, you know, obviously it was the cars last year, right? But at the time, is it?
Yeah, cars, yeah, and cars and setups, but.
So yeah, but I guess is there any part of that when your performance falls off, does the doubt start to creep in? Like, oh crap, like is
No.
it me? Am I part? You knew.
Yeah, I mean, I knew how to get around this track, right? So it's like, all right, you know, maybe I'm not the best driver at this track. I don't know. Maybe somebody else could go a tenth of a second faster than my car than I do. I doubt they could, but it's possible, right? But they're not going to be a second off like we were last year. All right, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. We knew we were off. So you don't even question it when you're that far off. It's like, yeah, that was dumb. What were we even thinking? And, you know, we kind of knew before the race even started we screwed up, but we couldn't do anything about it because it's like you come with certain setup and you can't change it after practice. But, you know, I mean, I got that question a lot last year because we didn't win, but like I never thought we couldn't win again. We should have won a bunch of races last year, even though our cars weren't probably the best cars in the field. Toyota as a group probably was off. I still felt like we should have won 5 or 6 races, and you know we made mistakes. We had some bad luck. We had some crazy things happen, and that's just racing. But I don't think any of us ever got down. That's why my team's all the same, you know, still right now, and we never gave up believing in each other. We just kept working hard. We're like, we just got to work harder. We got to be smarter. We got to make better decisions, and you put better cars with that. You know, the next thing you know, you're winning races. You're leading laps again. So, I never thought we couldn't win another race. Sometimes you think you may not win another race, but we know we are capable. That's different, I think.
And what was your interaction with Shaq like just now?
It was cool. You know, I think he was nice. I think Dale Jr. and him did something years ago at I don't know, it was for Nationwide or something. I think he did like a ride around. He took him around Concord Motor Speedway, and so he just told me the story about getting to meet him and how cool he was and all that. So I told him that, and he's like, "Oh, that's nice." But yeah, he was nice guy. I didn't know he was a DJ. Who would have thought? But he's killing it out there. They're rocking. It's like a dance club.
We'll go to Bob, and then in the back to Tom, and then to Adam.
Bob Hawkers, Fox Sports. Martin, at the end of most road course races, if there's a late caution, there seems to be, total chaos. So why wasn't there today?
Just the track layout. Narrow track. You go through turn 1 up the hill to turn 2. There's not a lot of room for, like, dive bombs. There's no room for guys to, compared to, like, Indianapolis, for example. You have a long straightaway that's 8 cars wide or 8 car widths wide going into a corner that's 2 cars wide, flat, 90 degrees. This is like you get through turn 1, it's slippery, it's kind of narrow. There's nowhere to go. You can't dive bomb people and just go in there like you do at COTA. You go up the hill and everybody bonsais and it's 5 wide and you got to turn, 120 degrees or 180 degrees to go back the other way and you get run over and run into. So just the track layout. And that's why I think, I watching Portland last weekend with moving the Xfinity starting the box to restart in back, that made their restarts a lot more sane and racy too, and not as much of just a clown show where everybody bonsais into turn 1 at the end of the race and runs through each other. We were a victim of that at COTA, and it's frustrating. But it's just the layout here of the track keeps that from happening for the most part.
All right, we'll go to Tom.
Tom Zaleski on County Today. This is your 4th win here, Martin. Almost Gordon territory. But here's the but how did the lack of the stage cautions and not having that luxury, did that affect your strategy at all?
Yeah, it did. I mean, I think if there was going to be yellow flags at the stages, we would have, threw away our stage points and pitted before the stage, which is what I talked about yesterday when I was here. That's, I think, why we all like this. With stage racing is awesome. I love it. I think everything about it is great. But at road courses, you had to, for the most part, say, okay, we're just going to give up stage points because we think we can win the race. You kind of had to pick and choose. So I think today, showed that it worked out. We were able to get some stage points, not as many as we should have, because towards the end of stage 2 there, the caution fell and we pitted and some guys stayed out. But, in general, I think for the overall strategy of road course racing, it's better without the stops when you get the stage breaks.
All right, we'll come down here to Adam and then to Steven in the middle.
Hi, Martin. Adam Carabine from RacingRefresh.com. We were talking a little earlier with Coach Gibbs. He was here talking about your confidence this year and how you seem like maybe you're a bit rejuvenated. I'm sure winning helps. But maybe you can talk to just how important it was to win the Clash to start off the season. I know it wasn't a points race.
Yeah, I mean, I think I talked about it right after that it was a big deal for us just to, understand that, we were making the right decisions. Short tracks were a struggle for us last year. And, to go to the Clash and do that, I was like, okay, we're going down the right road here with the things that we're thinking that we did wrong last year and the things we're working on and the direction we're heading for short tracks. That was a good confidence booster, and confidence is a huge part of this. And I've said it a lot. It's not so much for the driver, I don't think. It's more for the engineer, the crew chief, the guys that are like making the big decisions on the car. There's so many things they have to decide on before we come to the track of, what they're going to put in the car with the simulation and all the things that they have to do. There's a lot of assumptions. There's a lot of guesswork involved. You have to be confident in yourself that, your intuition is a part of that. It's not just computers telling you exactly how to set the car up. So confidence for those guys is a big thing. And when you get going down a direction that's working for you and you can make small tweaks, it's a lot easier than being out way out in left field and having to figure it all out and change everything at once. So it's just a work in progress.
Thanks. Congrats.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll come to the middle here to Steven.
Steven Stump, FrontTrust.com. Martin, after your most recent win before today at Sonoma in 2019, Chevrolet went on to win 15 of the next 16 road races. Toyota's now won 3 in a row. Reddick dominated at COTA. You've now dominated here. Would you say that, Toyota's back, maybe even ahead of Chevrolet at this point when it comes to this department?
I don't know. There's only 2 down. So what's there, 4 to go?
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, I don't know. I think, the interesting thing about this is, all the road courses we do now are very different. It's hard to say. Like, it could be an organizational thing. It could be a manufacturer thing. Like, last year it was definitely a manufacturer thing for us, at least. We were pretty far off. But, I think it can be a manufacturer or a team thing as well, with, like, Reddick last year and Hendrick a couple years ago were crazy strong on road courses. So it just depends. But, yeah, we'll see. We've got 4 more to go. We'll see how it shakes out, I guess.
Okay. And then
or 5 more maybe, yeah.
And then with the points you earned today, you jumped from 4th in the regular season points to the lead.
There's nice. That's a nice surprise.
Yes, 10 races left. Obviously, goals to win as many races, but now that the 15 points are potentially on the line, how does strategy change going forward for you guys?
It doesn't. Try to win every stage, try to win every race. I mean, it's kind of what we've always done. Even last year when we didn't do any of that, that was always our goal when we'd go into a weekend. So it doesn't really change anything.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
And congrats.
Are there any final questions for Martin? All right, Martin.
Thank you
Thank you
guys
for your
very
time.
much.
Congratulations.
Thank you all.